Hello, techies. Welcome or welcome back to kaetalkstech. I'm Kay. Let's talk tech. So first of all, I just have to say for all my East Coast folks, right? It's ridiculously hot. So stay inside. People are getting sick. They're trying to vote over in New York City. They're getting sick at the graduations, and they have to get shut down, and they're passing out water and so forth to people standing online. And they actually had to pass a law to make that legal. Anywho, back to tech. So I don't think you guys that are having problems finding jobs or understanding. And I know I've said this a couple of times, so I'm going to try and give you something a little more concrete today. So, what is your professional profile? How do people understand if they want to potentially interview you? They're going to look at your resume and your LinkedIn profile. Okay? Some people are a little more intrusive and they want to look at your connections and so forth. So I've seen some job descriptions that say, they want somebody who has a good LinkedIn profile and they have, a lot of connections. What does that mean? I don't understand the mentality behind that, but sometimes we're just trying to get a job. So if your connections on LinkedIn are low, you need to start increasing those. Join some groups, comment on some posts, link with people you know. Now, don't link with people you know that you don't really want to be linked to. Because we want to create a positive environment. So don't start just linking to people because you can. One thing I did to get my connections up is I looked for people like me, people who are interested in tech, black women. That's basically just those two groups. Well, no, I linked in with people who have the same skill set as me: data analysts, project managers, business analysts, and if you just send a note and say, I'm trying to increase my connections with people of similar mindset. Um, if you reached out to a project management group, you also want to say, I'm a project manager. I'm trying to increase my connections, and send those out. And pretty much, almost everybody you approach will link to you. Um, I also want to talk about what goes in that LinkedIn profile. So, first of all, you need a good name. You know, LinkedIn is going to give you a number and not a name, right? It's like your professional URL. So think of LinkedIn as a professional web page for you. That is how you can market yourself. So first you have to have something that is easy to remember and makes sense. Most people use their name, but if you have a plain name like me, your name may already be taken. So, just come up with something else. Your initials, your middle name. Don't use must love cats. Okay, don't. This is not Facebook. This is LinkedIn. This is not the place for you to have um, long walks with dogs as your profile. Okay, you want to be professional, and you want a professional headshot as well. You see what I'm wearing right now? I got on a headband, I got a bun. This is not a professional look. So I wouldn't have this on my LinkedIn profile, right? You really want to look professional. Um, Interview ready, right? That's you want to give how you probably would look on the interview. It doesn't need to be exactly that, but that's what you can keep in mind when you're coming up with the profile picture. Next, you can do a custom background. Um, they have them on, I think it's Canva, and you can get it for free. Um, You're going to have to Google it because I don't remember all the steps. I'll tell you where you're going to have to do a little bit of work. Okay? Everything's not going to come to you on a silver platter ready to go. So, um, Canva has LinkedIn backgrounds, right, for your headline. So where you have, I'm talking about the picture that appears behind your headshot. So your headshot will be in a little circle and then there's a banner behind you. I think that's what they're called, LinkedIn banners, right? So you can get one of those for free. I did it on my professional page and I love it. I think it looks great and you can even modify it for free. Um, they're not all free, but pick a free one. Like someone I used to know used to say, if it's free, it's for me. So there it is, right? Um, then make some posts, right? And that's an opportunity for people to get to know you just a teeny tiny bit. And, connections are more important in finding work than they ever have been before. And it doesn't have to be a connection that you've known for 5 years, right? One thing you may not be aware of is that recruiters join groups too. And they do that specifically for recruiting people. So, and I've had a couple of them tell me that, and I've been approached that way as well. Um, so they're just sitting in a group, may not be saying much, but they're looking at the interactions, they're looking at the people, they are looking at the profiles of the members just to see if, there's somebody there that they think is potentially a match to a job they may have now or in the future. So, having said that, be on your best behavior. Please don't be out here arguing with people in these LinkedIn streets. You can have a professional disagreement, right? I didn't say you have to agree. I didn't say you can't disagree. I said argue because some people take it very, very seriously on social media and they go in. They lose their minds. They go ham. They stop just short of cursing people out, and then sometimes they do that too. And once it's on the internet, it's forever. Even if you go back and take the post down, maybe somebody else had already captured that post. Now they're somewhere posting, oh, did you see this? This person said this, blah, blah, blah. And you don't even know that it's happening. So, yeah. On LinkedIn, be on your best behavior, okay? One thing I like to do on LinkedIn is I always protect my current situation because I had a couple of overzealous headhunters. Let me tell you this particular story that happened to me. I was looking for a job. I talked to a recruiter about it. That recruiter, consulting company recruiter, contacted people at the company that I was working at that he knew to ask about me. I don't need my current employer to know when I'm looking for a job. And he got good feedback. He was excited to tell me about it, but that's not the point. I consider that an invasion of my privacy. So don't do that, to recruiters. But I like to protect my number one, wherever I'm working at now, I'll just put company confidential, but I have it on my resume. So when I talk to the recruiter, he can see it on my resume. And if they ask me about the company and I think they're legit and I'm interested in the job, you got to jump some little hurdles here before you get the info, then I will tell them. All right, that's it. That's all I have for you today. I hope it was helpful. Like, follow, share, and then come back again. No, go to kaetalkstech.com and sign up for some coaching. And then come back here again when we will continue to talk tech. Bye.